Steadying herself in the receiving position, no problem there. You see she's got a hyper-extended elbow lock. That's okay, so long as she's got the stability around the joints.
Always nice to see her smile, isn't it? You know, it's one thing to, you know, be really focused and in the zone, but it's also nice to see an athlete enjoying what they're doing.
Enjoying it, I think that's a smile of relief. You know, these lifters would have been preparing for a long, long time for this one event, and it's over so quickly. Watch the replay. Good extension. Look how straight her back is in that receiving position. Bar right overhead. I know when teaching the snatch to beginners, the tendency is to try and hold it out in front and hold it more in the deltoid muscles. Here, she's got her body and centre of gravity nicely under the bar.
Youth Olympic Games champion also last season, so progressing, only 18 years, and the Thai lifters double-handed in this competition. And here's yet another youngster representing Latvia, Rebecca Koha, and she was the bronze medalist in the Youth Olympic Games at 48 kilos a year ago. So moving up a weight category.
Wow, again, very dynamic, really aggressive throughout the lift. And it's worth pointing out that this lifter is still a youth lifter, so under 17. And it's quite remarkable to see such weights at this body weight. We're looking, well over, was it, 1.5 times body weight, well over. 84 kilos first attempt, absolutely nailed it.
And that puts her actually into second place, because she's just that little bit heavier than Jaji of Japan, who was in the B group, who is the current overall leader in the clubhouse, as I mentioned earlier, with 191 kilos. But already the A group are already catching up with the B group, and now it's Ana Margot Lemos representing Colombia, competed in the World Championships last year, and she achieved 84 kilos, so this is a kilo more. This is for the outright lead.
Well, watch the replay, backside lifted as the weight came off the floor. That would have sent her onto her toes, and the bar was always out in front, right from the word go. Cannot emphasise enough how important that first phase as the bar comes off the floor. See there, lifts the backside up. Very difficult to recover.
Very strong tradition in Colombia in women's weightlifting. Probably the biggest squad in the whole of any South American country for women's weightlifting, the Colombian squad.
They've got some depth at the moment and some talent, and usually the Colombians come out and excel in the snatch phase of the competition. So I'm sure we're going to see Lemos rectify that problem. She may even go up in weight. It didn't look to be particularly heavy, but at this kind of level it's difficult to play the game. What do? Do you get a lift in, make sure you get a safe one before progressing? That's what she's going to do. 85 again.
Now she is allowed 2 minutes, but happily coming onto stage, she's got plenty of time to lock on and put herself in the zone, the belief, the visualization that you go through to believe that this is a weight that you can lift.
Same problem. Managed to take a couple of quick steps to get her body and centre of gravity back underneath the bar. Not overly impressive. I think she's going to need to ask questions of herself. Hopefully the coach will be able to pick up on the problems. But that's a sign of weakness in the lower back. Just see tipping forwards. Managed to rescue it though. She's in the competition, 85 kilos.
So we've seen her once now, a 3 kilo increase here for Ratanafon. So 86 kilos, and this is a new personal best attempt. 18 years of age, and it's the sort of age where athletes such as this young woman will actually make speedy progress.
Well, it doesn't look to be a limit. Tremendous leg strength. Stands up with ease, and that's a really convincing personal best on this platform.
What I was going to say, Michaela, is, you know, when you get a lifter who executes like that, she actually, in a way, makes it look easy. But this lift is not easy.
No, it's not. It requires a great amount of precision and accuracy. And I don't want to tempt fate, but we've had a number of good lifts so far, and that's reflected in the technical ability of these athletes.
Any particular tips you give some of the young lifters you coach in terms of achieving this level of precision?
You've got to get the foundations. You've got to spend the time working on the basics. Without that time, without that foundation, you're going to limit how far you can progress.
So Rebecca, 2 kilo increase now for her second attempt, also going for 86 kilos.
A really good leg drive. You can see in the starting position, just shaking the arms out, trying to relax the arms, allow the legs to generate all the power, all of the explosion. Notice these athletes are not overly bulking and built up in the upper body. It's wasted muscle in the arms. You really need every ounce of muscle in the legs and glutes. They're the muscles that provide all the power. They're the engine for this sport.
Feet still and in line, also another requirement. So, as you said, Michaela, quite a good start to this competition. And now Genesis Rodriguez-Gomez to make her presence felt on the stage here, to open up at 87 kilos. Now, she's capable of more than 90. She was the runner-up in this year's Pan American Games with 92 kilos.
Let go, let go. Sorry. An athlete holding on to these kind of weights under that kind of pressure, that's when something goes bang. And it's much, much safer just to let go of the weight. When you're out of control and you have that amount of movement, watch her receiving position, very high, sinks in. No control down there. And that's when you could have an elbow, a shoulder, or a knee go. Not great technically, whips the shoulders back, throws the bar forwards with her hips. Big swing on the bar, and that's why she couldn't control it.
And just another little rule, but an important one nonetheless, that when you're lifting, you must lift and you must put the bar back down on the platform.
That's right, the lifter must remain on the platform. When given the down signal, must drop it on the platform. Doesn't matter if the lifter changes the direction that they're facing, so long as they stand still at the end of the lift and are under control. We're seeing a very frustrated athlete coming onto the stage. Rodriguez here is furious with herself for that first miss.
Yeah, but she's got to channel. It's good to be fired up, but you've actually got to channel all of that in the right direction. She's not taken a lot of time in coming out again for this second attempt.
No. And she will be asking the question, looking to the stars. Oh my goodness me, she'd done all the hard work. Now we're seeing an athlete under a great deal of pressure.
Yeah.
Must register 1 snatch to stay in the competition. She's missed 2.
And as we said, this competition also qualification for Rio.
Oh, that was a poor failure. You can see just driving forwards with the chest, not sitting in a nice straight position. And that's just fundamentals. These are the kind of things that you want to iron out in the very early stages of teaching an athlete these kind of movements. And if athletes are allowed to get away with mistakes like that, then it's going to cost them when it comes to this kind of level of competition and under this pressure.
So, Ana Margot Lemos for Colombia, currently in 3rd position, 87 kilos on the bar. 3rd and final attempt. And never got there.
No, consistency's just not there today. She'll be disappointed, left back on 85. And that's going to cost her, I think, just a couple of kilos here. Could be 3, 4, 5 plus places.
I've still got that 85 as a 1 kilo personal best,
Yep.
but, you know, 1 out of 3.
Well, you can only guess by the disappointment on her face, and 1 out of 3 that she's probably done a lot more in training.
Now, look how focused this young Latvian is. Comes out, gets the magnesium, chalks up to make sure that she gets that really good grip.
Only a 1 kilo increase. Super quick, love the speed. That change in speed as the bar passes the knees, the acceleration and the confidence dropping underneath.
Tidy little sequence, actually a kilo short of a lifetime best. She won the Youth European title this season, and on her way to it, lifted 88 kilos in the first half of the competition. But 3 out of 3, you can't complain about that.
No, for such a young lifter to come onto this kind of platform and really perform and nail 3 out of 3 under pressure, really good technician. We're going to see a lot more of this young lady in the future.
Yeah, I think it's really good. You know, we haven't seen too many Latvian women involved in the sport, and, you know, to be in this A final, this is a big, big occasion for her. Great start to get 3 out of 3. Conversely, now under real pressure, she needs this to stay alive, to get a total. Oh.
Well, still very soft underneath the bar. But clearly the weight is no issue. She's capable of far more. But she's going to be kicking herself. Those 2 early misses would have cost her dearly.
Yeah. Only 21 years of age, but 87 kilos. It really does dent the possibilities for her.
Oh, look how soft she is, moving all over the place, sinking into that receiving position. Really, you want to be landing in a dynamic position.
I mean, she was looking, well, her entry total was 201 kilos, Michaela, and she lifted that in the Pan American Games, but she contributed 92 kilos towards it, so she really is in a difficult position. Now, Marina Sisoeva from Uzbekistan, who will next year host the Asian Championships, the last qualifying opportunity for athletes from that part of the world to qualify for Rio if they haven't made it already. That'll be in Tashkent. Trying to persuade Michaela to go out there and have a little look.
This is a lifter with tremendous leg strength. Not the ideal build for lifting. Usually you look for somebody with a long back and short levers. She's almost got a short back and long levers, but she's able to execute very, very well. And time again, we see her lifting consistently.
Lifted 92 kilos in the World Championships last year, however, was subsequently disqualified for taking an illegal substance and has served a 1-year penalty as a result of that. But nonetheless, lifting strongly there, Sisoeva on her opening lift of 88 kilos, and now the representative for Kazakhstan, also on 88 kilos, Yelisieva.
Well, we said her first attempt was impressive. That too was very, very good. 6 kilo increase between first and second attempts. That's big at this body weight. And she's had an awful long wait from her first to her second. So that was a very, very good lift.
Yeah, 6 kilo increase at these body weights, as you say, is always impressive. And I think, as I said, you know, she's been yo-yoing a little bit throughout her career between 48 and 53 kilos. And this really does look the category for her.
Well, she looks good in this group. So a long way down to 48, 5 kilo drop in body weight when you're only this size is quite considerable.
Now a 3 kilo increase here for Pakarata for Thailand, and they've got another lifter to come. In fact, the lifter who is the lightest in the class by some way. More of that now. Can this young woman make it 3 out of 3? 89 kilos, looking for the lead.
Oh, yet another personal best. You can see the relief in her face. Great to see the youngsters coming through, and I think she's going to be challenging her teammate before long.
just 18. But again, another athlete delivering 3 out of 3. Great start. Yeah, the Thai women based up in Chiang Mai, and now over to Europe for the Ukraine for Yulia Paratova season campaigner, 29 years of age, one of the most experienced in the competition. This year's European champion, 90 kilos, 110, 200 her total.
Well, can she bring her A game to this competition? She's going to need it if she's going to stay in with contention for the medals. Personal best of 98. Is she in that kind of form? Let's see how this first attempt looks.
Well, she competed in London. She's come down from 58 kilos. 5th in the world's last year. And opening up here on 90 kilos. So this for the outright lead, 52.72. Not the lightest, but not the heaviest either in the class. This is really competitive.
Looked very army off the floor. Looked like a nervous first attempt.
That happens.
Yes, it happens. Hopefully she'll settle down now and relax into the lifting. But if we watch the movement off the floor in the slow-mo,
I mean, this was always the phase that you had to nail in your competitions.
Well, you see the start position, her back never looked to be tight, her chest was low, and all of that is going to pull her forwards.
But you know, now getting that first one under the belt, you may well see her relax and progress.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now, only weighing in at 50.34, giving away kilos, really, to the opposition. And it's Sopita Thanasan for Thailand, also opening up on 90 kilos.
Well, she may well be the lightest lifter, and we were questioning at the start of this competition why she's even in this category. If she's naturally weighing in at 50 kilos, surely she could have made 48. But she's made the decision, 53 is my category, and that was a very, very impressive first attempt.
Yeah, she really whipped
Good
this above her head.
Very solid underneath the bar. That's what we like to see. And it was just a confident lift right from the start. She knew she was going to nail that.
Well, she was 4th in the World Championships. Now, Yeliseyeva for Kazakhstan out.
Personal best attempt. Well, she's got it. Absolutely spot on in terms of precision. Great levers for weightlifting.
And that lifts her up from 5th place. But of course, she can't take the lead because of the light weight of Sopita Thanasan taking that opener at 90 kilos. But it puts her a little closer to the action. And there's Alexei having his usual little dance of histrionics going around there. Now to Uzbekistan and Sisueva. Now, having got that 88 kilos, looking to progress. She has lifted at 58 kilos, but she was very light in that capacity. So Sisueva going for 92 kilos. Now, I would say that she probably has got the strength to do that, but that was technically a mess.
It's it's a very fine line between nailing it and not. Just a lot of movement at the start position. You could see her backside quite low, then she rocked forwards as she took the weight. That movement is going to continue sending the momentum forwards onto her toes. So I'd like to see the set position a bit more steady.
I'm just thinking, though, that maybe there was a little uncertainty in her mind about that lift as well. So she's got another attempt, and just looking here, worth mentioning at this moment that Chen Zhao Ting of China, due to come in at 97 kilos. Before her, Su Shu Xing of Taipei, and she, the world record holder overall at 233 kilos to start her campaign. So one of 3 lifters yet to start. The other one is Hidilyn Diaz of the Philippines, who will be coming in very shortly. The bar for her has got to reach 95 kilos. So Sisueva to make amends now. Now, what do you reckon? What's the body language saying to you, Michaela?
I don't think she's going to get it. She looks too anxious. She doesn't look confident. She looks different to when she came out for her first attempt. I hope she proves me wrong. She needs this to stay in with the running. No.
Well, this is the discipline in which she's had most of her problems over the years. She was a 48-kilo competitor at the London Olympics. She failed all 3 snatch attempts in that particular competition, and she's ended up with 1 out of 3. And perhaps we're both a little surprised after that first attempt, which looked so solid.
It did, but then 4-kilo increase. Maybe question, is that too big a jump? If she's having trouble with consistency, maybe just build a bit more gradually. Remember, it's not the weight you start on or the jumps you take, it's the weight you finish on. And maybe 90 or 91 may have been a better choice, yeah.
Well, still Sopita Tanasan, the lightweight Thai lifter, in the lead, but this is Paratova going for 93 kilos. She's currently in 2nd place.
Oof. Well, lost all the momentum as the bar passed the knees. Just yanked with the arms. I want to see the replay to see what went wrong there. But the aim is for the bar to accelerate as it passes the knees, and she just killed all the speed on it. Just completely mistimed that. Yeah, just same problem with the start position. Chest is down, everything's forward. Trying to yank the bar with the upper body. It's not going to flow if you do that. Two minutes, the clock will be ticking.
Pity Zulfia Shinshanlo is not here, but on the other hand, all of these competitors will be delighted that she isn't, when you reflect on the fact that she lifted up 232 kilos last year in Almaty, and Su Shu Xing 218 in taking the silver, and Li Yayun of China 214. I mean, she completely eclipsed, totally dominated Zulfia, the competition. I remember the first time we saw her, I think, was in Korea in 2009, and we just went, wow.
Yeah, she's in a league of her own, and it's quite understandable to take this competition out, to stay at home, do the training. That said, you know, she could have another world title to her name with training weights, but she's decided not today, doesn't want to be here.
Overall, China, over the years, since these weight categories were established, has been the strongest nation in terms of the medals achieved, and their representative yet to start her challenge. And now Paratova to try and make amends at 93 kilos, looking for first place into the gold medal position. Well, not only does she not make that lift, it leaves her on 90, and of course that will leave her some kilos adrift, we think, of the rest of the field.
Well, I think that's going to cost her. Her starting weight on the clean and jerk is a few kilos down on the best. Quite a few technical things there. Quite easy to correct though. Just needs the chest up, better set position.
Yeah, pity really in a way, because 90 kilos is what she lifted in the Europeans. But now here, Hidilyn Diaz representing the Philippines, who've never achieved a medal in this weight category, and this is a promising athlete. You're looking at the Asian champion of the current season, 96 kilos in the snatch phase. 97 is her personal best. That was in the Olympics.
These are big opening weights. 94 kilos, first attempt in the 53 category. This is very, very impressive.
Yeah, and boom, straight into the lead. So two still in the wings to start, Chen of China and also Xu Xing of Taipei.
Well, these lifters are pretty much underneath the bar before the bar even changes direction. Just gives you an idea of how much leg power they're generating.
Also takes courage, doesn't it, to put your body and your head underneath the bar with this sort of weight over.
Courage or stupidity.
Yes, either that, yeah. Courage or stupidity, absolutely right. Now, Sopita Tanasan, 50 kilos, 50.34 she weighed in at just a couple of hours ago. And this is a 5 kilo increase to regain the advantage. Oh, is she quick?
She's quick and she's confident. And it's that smile when she's in the receiving position. She knows she's done it, she's there. All she has to do is stand. It's important not to relax until the lift is fully finished. But that was comfortable. Wonder what she's going to take on a third.
Well, she's exciting to watch, isn't it? Just, you know, when you look at that speed, to sort of translate that, that is motorway speed limit speed. Can I put it that way? You know, 120, 130 kilometers.
You can't get much quicker as an athlete. And it's all about the speed. It's about generating upward momentum with a powerful leg drive and catching in a really confident pace.
So, the woman who was the runner-up to Zulfiya Shinshanlo last year, the world silver medalist, the Olympic silver medalist from 2012, it's Zulfiya Shinshanlo who has denied this woman the major titles. And she was off balance.
It's not what we want to see from some of the top lifters here. But then, you know, this is, again, a pressurized competition. And some of the other athletes who are just outside the medals will be watching anxiously now from the warm-up room. But they're just lacking full extension at the hip.
You know, this is a great opportunity without Zulfiya being here.
It is, and you almost wonder whether... Well, you never know. You know, these girls are capable of these weights. You've got to be able to execute, and consistency is so important.
Now, I mentioned earlier that she's got a personal best of 97 kilos. Let me put that in perspective. That was in the London Olympic Games when she didn't get a total, but also she was lifting at 58 kilos. So she's come down since 2012. But, you know, she has made 96 kilos. She did that this year in winning Asian Championship gold.
I don't know. I think that's a dodgy right arm. I'd fail that on a press out. So the referees decide.
Well, you can tell on her face there, she sort of knows, doesn't she? 2-1, and it's the central referee who has arguably the best position of all to take that view.
There's a definite twitch in the right elbow. She's lucky she's got away with it. Only the centre referee picked it up.
Georgeta Ion is the central referee from Romania, very experienced referee.
Maybe, you know, the side angles, it may not be quite as clear to the eye, and it did happen very quickly. That's better, second attempt. I think that's what you can call nailed. One attempt to go. She needs to sit and wait now to see what Chen of China is going to come out on. She's posted 97. She only has one response left.
Yeah, and the bar for Tanasan, she's posted 100 kilos for her third attempt. So Diaz and Su. And now Chen coming out to open up at 97 kilos to go into the lead. 24 years of age, the junior world champion back in 2011. We haven't seen a great deal of her on the competition stage in recent years, but what we can tell you is in April, 103 kilos, she equaled the Snatch world record in winning the Nationals.
Not a great camera angle to start with, but clearly nailed first attempt. And she has absolutely the best levers for weightlifting. Short and stocky, long back, powerful legs. You can just see the amount of strength in those legs. Watch here. Good extension, just whips the shoulders back a little. That's why she's a bit unstable underneath. Very, very good.
And also interesting that China actually originally entered 2 lifters into this weight category, but have gone with the woman who won the Nationals, Li Yayun, 22 years of age, is the woman who missed out. She was the runner-up in the Nationals, and she had won the IWF Grand Prix this season with 101 kilos in the snatch, really competitive, and a lot of people were thinking that Li Yayun would be the representative for China, but not to be. And now Sopita. Now 100 kilos. Now she's really pushing herself here.
Well, she's had a couple of minutes to sit down, so the coach is just waking her up with the slap around the cheeks and the legs.
She might have done this in training. She's never done it on a competition stage. And this is the perfect example. The first one, she was probably pretty confident she could nail. The second one, she will have done. This time, she's taking herself into, I suppose you could say, no man's land in terms of competition. But this is what you have to do at some time in your career. This is the equivalent of flying solo.
This is a test of the mental strength. Oh, fully committed, gave it everything.
But you could feel the weight there. You could see that the speed wasn't quite the same.
Well, let's hope she doesn't regret taking such a big jump. 5 kilos, maybe 2 or 3 kilos would have kept her in contention a bit better. Wasn't that far away. That's going to be there in the next few months, I think.
Yeah, it leaves her out of the medals, but you may well be right there that the judgment call would have been to have been maybe 97 or 98 kilos. But that opportunity has gone, but not for Diaz.
Well, again, Diaz here taking 4 kilo increase to try and stay with the medals. This would guarantee her.
So remember, Su Xing of Taipei still alive. She's got a third attempt to come. Chen has got 2 to come for China, and Diaz 94, 96, going for 100 kilos here, currently lying in the bronze medal position, and that's where she stays. So Chen with 2 has posted 101, and Su Xing 101, but that's her third attempt. So at this moment, unless the chess game unfolds in a different way, Chen is going to have to come in. Now, is Chen going to put the weight up, I wonder?
Well, they are playing cat and mouse already.
Well, I think
this
is sensible lifting, because, you know, she did 103 in the Nationals. Win the medal first. That's the priority. Make sure you got the kilos to put yourself in a strong position. Remember, she's got to think about the clean and jerk. She's got to think about the total. Just taking it all in. That's the 30-second buzzer. Locks on. She knows exactly where she is. Wow, that is unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness me. Tremendous amount of functional stability there. Being able to fight and fight and fight. Some would question whether that was a safe decision, but that was gutsy.
Yeah, she dug deep there, and she's got the 101 now. That, of course, consolidates her in first place. Now, body weight comes into play here because Chen, 52.78, Su Xing, 52.61. So when the Taipei lifter comes out, she'll be looking to go into the lead by virtue of lighter body weight. Sorry, Michaela, you were pretty impressed there. Let's wait and see what happens here. Chen will be coming out for a third attempt, whatever.
No.
So we know that Chen has got the gold medal because she's got 101 kilos and Su Xin is left on 96.
Well, Chen was a rough looking second attempt. She's gone to 104 on the scoreboard. This would be an attempt at the world record, but you've got to question whether or not it's there today. It needs to be better than her second attempt, but here we're seeing Xu. She's going to be disappointed, left down in second, but a gutsy effort.
Yeah, and also more so because of the kilos she's given away.
Yeah.
This is going to make it very difficult for Su Xing, particularly if this young woman produces a world record 104 kilos. That's going to give her a really solid advantage going into the second part. So here she is, Shen Xiaoting, the national champion of China for 2015, former junior world medalist. And this for the snatch world record. 103 kilos, owned by Li Ping. And still owned by Li Ping. So I suppose that might be a bit of relief, you know, to one or two of the competitors that she hasn't quite got away as far as she might have done, but it's the gold medal to Chen of China.
Just whipping the shoulders back again, hips go through, and that puts a really big swing on the bar. Probably one of the worst technicians we've seen in this category, but so strong. Time and time again, the Chinese lifters come out and produce the goods.
But there you have it, 2 out of 3, but she has a 5 kilo advantage over the world silver medalist of last year. And Diaz of the Philippines, they're getting the bronze medal. That's the first Filipino medal in this women's weightlifting class in the World Championship history. This competition is far from finished, and we've seen some really good lifting in the first part, Michaela.
Yes, we have. I think the clean and jerk is going to really hot up. Chen has that advantage, but as we know, Xu of Taipei has a tremendous clean and jerk, so I think it's going to be really close.
Yeah, now remember, she's got to make up 5 kilos, but Su Xing has posted 127 for her opener, Chen 120. So it's 17-year-old Rebecca Kohar for Latvia to open up, and a very good first half, a really good trio of solid lifts, 84, 86, 87. She's still in the top 10, but as we said, Michaela, great to see a youngster from Latvia come on stage and produce this, and you know, this bodes well for the future, but let's hope that she can keep this solid run going now.
Well, she was very competitive in the snatch, coming out first here on the clean and jerk. This is kind of normal, bearing in mind she's still a youth lifter under 17. She hasn't had those years to develop the leg strength.
101.
Keeping her elbows very high after the clean. That's kind of what you would teach a novice lifter. His elbows up, that way the bar stays on top of the shoulders. But as athletes become more experienced, you usually drop the elbows, maintain good high shoulders to rest the bar on. But she's still lifting with elbows super high. Clean was nice and easy, good leg strength to stand.
And that gives her a total of 188. And a reminder for those of you who are just joining us, that the leader in terms of kilos achieved from the B group earlier on, Kanai Yaji from Japan, 191 kilos, 84 in the snatch phase, 107 in the clean and jerk. She's the leader in the clubhouse. Now that 191 will be eclipsed, but it's a decent effort from the B group.
Yes, it is, and it's very difficult to make the call. Where do you cut off the A and the B group? And that decision is made before any of the competitions get underway, at the verification of entries, when all the coaches enter their best total for their athletes. So you don't get to see what the other countries are posting.
So, Venezuela and Genesis Lourdes Rodriguez Gomez to come out for her first attempt at 105 kilos, lying in 10th place at the halfway stage, just 1 out of 3 to rescue the chance of making a total.
Waited a long time before attempting the jerk. Just looks very awkward in that position. You just see she's pointing to a windpipe. Cuts off the oxygen to the brain. That's going to make you dizzy.
And 105 to go with that 87, so takes her to 192 and puts her into overall first place.
Yeah, not a great lift. Really pushing with the arms, pushed herself backwards away from the bar, but it's a weight she could manage.
Best clean and jerk lift came from the, well, very experienced Rosmaris Villa Barbosa of Colombia, who got 108 kilos in the clean and jerk. Useful effort. And now Yulia Paratova also opening up here on 105 kilos.
Well, wasting no time, straight down to the bar, straight up.
195, and takes the overall lead. Obviously, also now putting herself in a strong position for the clean and jerk in these early stages. She's lighter than the lifter from Venezuela, so first place in the clean and jerk, first place overall, but early days.
Very, very strong.
Now she should be well capable of 110, and I would like to think a little bit more, because she has to make up for a disappointing first phase when she only got 90 kilos. So 105, opening up on her personal best here is Ana Margot Lemos of Colombia.
That's a good lift. Solid opener. It's nice to see the competition starting with one success after another. Let's hope this continues. There's a lot of lifters coming out around the same weights. The first attempts are not going to be taken much notice of, but it's after this that the coaches will be keeping a close eye on the weights posted in the warm-up room.
And just a little bit of perspective, probably frightening perspective. The clean and jerk world record, well, it belongs to Shin Shanlo, 134 kilos. I don't think we'll be getting there today. Now, Rebecca Koha going for 5 out of 5, representing Latvia. As you rightly said, still in the ranks of the youth lifters, bronze medalists at the Youth Olympic Games at 48 kilos a year ago.
This is right on the maximum that she's ever posted in competition. So it's there. Great lifting, really, really good technician. I'm really excited to see how she's going to progress over the next couple of years. I think we're going to see her winning medals on this kind of stage.
Well, this is the sort of lifter who's going to come through and surely win a European title.
Well, you would think so. I think she's going to pressurise for medals now on that kind of stage.
European Championships next year in Norway. Also the final qualifying opportunity for European athletes who will still be perhaps looking for a place in Rio 2016. Be really nice to see that young woman in the European Championships.
Well, it would. Just look at how far she's progressed in just 1 year. Last year at the World Championships, she ranked 22nd. Already here, she's going to be well up into the top 10. So great to see the progress that these young athletes are making.
Yeah, and we're still referring to Koha of Latvia, this season's junior and youth European champion. As you see, Yeliseyeva coming out to open up on 107 kilos. Now, also worth reflecting on the fact that 3 good lifts in the first half. The Kazakh representative in the absence of the fantastic Zulfiya Shinshanlo.
Really weak in the glutes, allowing the knees pretty much to touch. I don't think I've seen a lifter drive from such a narrow foot positioning, but she made that look effortless.
197 total, boosting her into first place overall, 107 kilos. So
just watch the knees here. They touched on the way up there. They're going to touch again. Very, very narrow foot spacing. As a result, hips just came back slightly as she dipped. That would be a lot easier to stay straighter if her feet were a bit wider, but hey, it works for her.
Turkey now, and Ashgül Çoban for Turkey.
Well, great in the jerk phase. That was a convincing opening attempt.
Won the European title back in 2014, and on the way to that, clean and jerked 114 kilos. But of course, in a way, her problem is the fact that she only picked up 80 kilos in the first half, so she's coming from a long way back when you consider that she was ranked 19th in the snatch rankings at the end of the first half, so that's a long way off the business end of this competition.
Yes, it is, and while it looks comfortable, you just question how strong the mind is.
Well, this would be really something now. 107 kilos, so a new personal best and 6 out of 6. This is not easy. She's got the clean.
Oh, so close. The bar went to arm's length. But the arms just buckled underneath her. Well, she looks thoroughly disgusted with that attempt. Obviously expected more of herself and would have loved to have gone away from here with a clean sweep, 6 out of 6. But that's a gutsy effort. We're going to see more of this young lady in the future.
Well, she ends on 192 kilos. Here is that jerk. Chucks the bar overhead.
Oh, hips behind the bar.
But 192, of course, that is a new personal best total for her. So Rebecca Koha takes plenty of positives out of this competition in the way that she's performed. And Marina Sisoeva, well, started with some promise in the first attempt in the snatch phase, but missed second and third attempts.
I'm not sure how well her warm-up has gone. She posted a 110. She's now dropped it here to 108. You're allowed to do that before the bar is loaded. Well, that looked comfortable. Slightly forwards on the jerk phase.
But maybe also just being a little conservative to make sure that she gets the total. The Uzbeks who've been attracting one or two female lifters from China who would struggle to find a place in the Chinese team. Be interesting to see how they emerge over the next year or two. Paratova having a little word with herself there. Representing the Ukraine. $3-kilo increase.
Oh, just jumped sideways. Wasting no time. Her right elbow is soft, but I think she'll be okay. She doesn't have a great lockout. I think she'll get 3 white lights.
Yeah, it's a good lift. And that 108 takes her to 198. For the moment at least, puts her into the overall lead.
Just see the timing. She hit the bottom, the bar hit her, and she used the whip on the bar to stand up. Really good timing.
Backstage in the warm-up room, Su Shixing, well, she'll be preparing for 127, and Chen preparing to come in at 120, so you can see how far away we are still from their appearances. And Diaz, by the way, has posted 115, the bronze medalist from the first half of the competition, representing the Philippines, should be coming in at about 115. So Venezuela now, and this is a 4-kilo increase. She's in 5th place overall. This would give her a total of 196 kilos.
That looked heavy off the floor, heavy to stand up.
Well, she's not lacking advice from the corner. Oof.
She's okay. Good thing is the gap between the bar and the floor. It missed her feet as it went down, but clearly struggling with the bar on her shoulders. She holds it for so long, and the bar is clearly sitting right into her windpipe. We'll see here, has to work very hard to stand up. See how high the bar is on her windpipe. It's so hard to breathe. And that's going to make her dizzy.
What about the chatter from the coaches? How did you did you like a lot of advice, Michaela, or did you prefer to just be within yourself?
Mainly focus myself, but it does help every now and again just to have a couple of cues from the coach, but not too much. Just single words, clear, concise. One thing, maybe 2 to focus on. Any more than that, and it's information overload.
Anna Margot, 4-kilo increase on her shoulders, adjusts.
No,
and press outs there very clearly on the right arm, so no lift, I'm afraid.
Oh,
2 to 1. I mean, I don't. What was happening there? That should have been 3 red lights, surely.
Yeah, it's clearly a press out.
Yeah.
Elbows.
Well, it's the left-hand referee's light, you see, and probably doesn't get as good a view of the right arm, but nonetheless, that was pretty clear. That's sort of the view that the right-hand referee gets. Well, we've seen a bit of noise from this young woman, but it's got to be channeled in a really effective way. But I think the real point that you were making, Michaela, is she's got to get the clean. Remember, she's used a lot of energy, and she's using even more of it now. She's got to get the clean, but she can't hang about. She needs to move that bar.
Vamos, vamos. Shouts we're hearing from the crowd. Come on, come on. 3rd attempt.
Now, drive up for the clean, steady, focus, and move. it was a better attempt, but I'm afraid it was not going to happen for her. And you can see there she's left with just that first attempt and a total of 192 kilos, which at the moment leaves her in 5th place overall, but she's going to drop down the order. Now, if you were going to take her back into the training hall, what would you be looking to do with her?
Just slightly changing the position with the bar resting on her shoulder, so rather than it sitting on her windpipe, I'll try and get her to lift her shoulders a bit higher. And as she stands up out of the clean, literally a couple of seconds and then go for it. There's no need for her to wait so long.
Well, there are the stats. So this for the lead in the clean and jerk for Anna Margot. Second attempt at 109 kilos.
Oh, has to work hard. Would have taken a lot out of her legs. Does she have anything left? Nice.
Oh, well, what an improvement. That right arm was solid this time, surely 3 whites.
Well, gods are looking down on her.
And that's a personal best.
Did really well to recover.
Once again, central referee there. And that's interesting. Central referee, that's our Romanian colleague, Georgeta. Georgeta Ion not satisfied, but that looked okay to me.
I think that was 3 white lights from the referees. It was here you were looking at the score.
So, Sopita Tanasan, 2 out of 3 in the snatch phase. Characteristically very quick in the 2 good attempts that she made. The lightest of the class.
Well, I would like to know what some of these girls are capable of on a front squat, because they are standing out of the cleans with ease. Tanasan making that look effortless.
So 110 to go with 95, so that's 205 for her total. And zips her into the lead, and she's only now 3 kilos shy of equaling her personal best, and that came in last year's Worlds.
I think that's going to get smashed today. Surely she's going to go 115 second attempt.
Turkey. Ayşegül Çoban. Oh, in fact, a change. Ratafon Pakarata coming out for her opener at 111 kilos. All smiles through the first half of the competition. 3 out of 3, 83, 86, 89. So like the young Latvian, she's a year older than Rebecca Koa. So can she keep this good performance up? The Youth Olympic Games champion of last season, clean and jerked 109 kilos on that occasion, on her way to a total of 190, but moving forward in the Junior Worlds this year.
Just mistimed the bounce. Ideally, you want to stand straight away. Really good overhead. Very tall lifter, needs to steady herself. Oh, let's hope she hasn't hurt herself.
Yeah. Got herself out of jail. She's got a PB, a personal best of 115 kilos. That came in the Junior Worlds back in June of this year when she totaled up 198.
Just look here, has to use a couple of bounces before standing. The aim is to try and keep the bar moving. Good drive to arm's length, so solid in the arms.
She's a joy to watch, isn't she? And now Çoban coming out now for 111 kilos.
That's a good attempt. She's got one remaining. If you remember what happened on the snatch, her head went on her third attempt. Let's see if she can keep it together now. She looks confident. Timing on this lift was pretty good. Watch how she hits the bottom at the same time the bar does, uses the bounce to stand straight up. A little bit army on the jerk, just shoving to arm's length rather than driving more with the legs. That's a solid second attempt.
Moves her up into the top 10. That's Choban. And now for Kazakhstan, Yeliseyeva. Looking for 5 out of 5. And this is a 5-kilo increase to take her to 202. Current leader is Tanasan on 205, 200 for Pakarata. In silver medal position overall.
Well, 5 from 5, 1 to go. And you wouldn't put another lift past her. That was extremely impressive. As we alluded to in the first attempt, very narrow foot positioning on the clean, knees touch on the way up. That's allowed. No rules against it. It's just a sign of weakness in the glutes.
You know, and she's still got this last attempt to come, but what's so interesting is that she's completely obliterated the disaster of last year at 48-kilo category when she, you know, didn't get past the snatch phase. So Yeliseyeva in 4th place on a total of 197 at the moment. 202, I should say, I beg your pardon, 202, and she's in silver medal position at the moment overall, and in 1st place in the clean and jerk. Now, Sisoeva for Uzbekistan.
Ooh, needs to stand still, and she does.
4 kilos added onto the bar from her first attempt, takes her up to exactly 200 kilos. Weighed in at 52.66. So lighter than the tall and elegant Ratafon Pakarata. So skips into the bronze medal position overall and 1st in the clean and jerk.
Just watch her back foot here when she lands, pointing out to the side. That's going to put stress on the medial side of the knee. Try to encourage lifters to have both feet pointing forwards.
Well, so far, Paratova enjoying the second part of this competition much more than the first. She didn't really make any impression in the snatch phase. The European champion this season, silver medalist back in 2014. And that wasn't in her head either.
Do you know, I really don't like the approach to the bar, which is, in my view, very rushed. As soon as she goes down, hands are on the bar and off she goes. And we have the same problem then as we saw on the snatch, where she just doesn't set that starting position. Her back is not tight, and it's going to pull you all out of position and all over the place.
Chief Marshal's desk there, where, as you can see, the different weight entries. This is where the chess game is played. Alexei Neve whizzing up there for Yeliseyeva, because he'd only posted 113 a kilo increase.
Yeah, the bar automatically goes up. He once Yeliseyeva has been called, he only has 30 seconds to change the weight.
Yeah, and
where's the clock? Where's the clock?
Yeah, can't see that. Come on, Alexei. Where's he going to go?
15.
Or is it 14? I think it's 14.
So you've got the 3 Ukrainian coaches there all looking at the scoreboard, trying to work out what weight they need to try and get close to the medals or stay in contention. It's very much a cat and mouse game, and you've got to be quick with the maths, taking into consideration the body weights as well.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because on my computer, I've got Yeliseyeva at 114 kilos, and here's Diaz coming out at 115.
115.
Have you got 115?
Yeliseyeva's
oh, yes, yeah, fine, sorry. My computer's lagging a little bit. And it's Hidilyn Diaz, bronze medalist from the first half of the competition, missed that third attempt at 100, so brings forward 96 kilos and now going for 115, which is the opener that she posted, representing the Philippines.
Well, very solid overhead. Has to work quite hard on the clean, but nonetheless, she's in the competition. First attempt, 1:15. Very good.
Has done 1:19, has done actually 1:22, but that was as a 58-kilo lifter. At this weight category, 118 is her personal best.
Good underneath the bar, nice and straight. If you draw a line vertically down from the bar, the whole body is underneath.
So this young woman seemingly only knows one way to go, and every increase is a 5-kilo increase.
Well, 5 kilos, this would be a 2-kilo personal best. No. Trying to use her arms too early, needs to drive more with the legs. All the arms do is catch overhead. It's a shame.
Yeah, under pressure now.
Clean was good. Very strong standing up. She clearly has the leg strength. Just didn't quite finish driving with the legs.
And she will get stronger. She's only 20. Sapita's had a number of silver medal successes, not least the Junior World Silver Medal of 2014. Junior and World Silver Medal back in the World Championships of 2013. No.
Yes, Yeva coming out now for a third attempt, 1:15.
And this is for 6 out of 6.
This is a big personal best.
Well, clearly, the move to this category has really paid off for her. No more messing around at 48 kilos. This is her category. Oh, but it's not in her head, is it?
No.
She didn't believe in that.
Don't get me wrong, these weights are heavy. We're up to, well, pretty much double body weight now. And you've got to approach the bar believing that you can do it.
So it leaves her in 3rd place overall at the moment, and 3rd place in the clean and jerk, but still waiting in the wings to start. Chen of China, 120, and Su Qing, 127. Now, if it went that way in their respective first attempts, Su Qing would put herself right back on terms with Chen in terms of the fight for the overall gold. Now, Tana-san, all the time throughout the whole of the last hour and a half, Sapita, like all the athletes, has been using up energy lift by lift, both backstage and on this competition stage.
Not quite as convincing on the clean. Has she got the legs? Yes, needs to stand still, and she does.
Terrific determination.
She's got it. Great attempt.
That's a great recovery there for Sapita. Puts her into a new personal best position, and it gives her 210 kilos, and that is a lifetime best for her. 4th in the World Championships last year. Probably going to miss out on the overall medals this time around, but it's a really good effort. And at 20 years of age, this young Thai talent is someone we can look forward to seeing over the next 4 years in the build-up to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games.
Technical controller running onto the stage there to grab Choban of Turkey, take her off the platform. It wasn't her turn.
But it's Ratanafon Pakarata, the tall lifter from Thailand. And this is a 5-kilo increase to take her to 205. Just see the talent they've got in the Thai squad in the women's division.
Ooh, a bit short on the clean. Has the legs to stand. Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think she's got that.
Well, the first lift wasn't textbook, and that was a long way from being textbook. 3 red lights there. And she was fortunate to get the 111, now the 116. Technically, she's got to sort out this first phase.
Well, I just mistimed it. If we watch here, just decks her at the bottom, manages to recover. That's great leg strength, but watch her, the elbow closest to us, our right. There was a press out there. She closed her eyes knowing she'd done it, and that's kind of why she didn't fight for the rest of it. She knew that she was going to be failed.
So Choban onto the stage, and a 5-kilo increase here. Currently in 5th place in the clean and jerk. Now this would take her to 196 overall.
Ooh, gutsy. Wow, great to see her commit. I thought for a moment she wasn't going to commit. Very slow off the floor, and that's simply because it's so heavy. The speed off the floor is irrelevant. It's what happens when the bar passes the knees, the explosion, the change in speed that's critical. It was good to see that she committed.
Yeah, and just worth emphasising the point you were making a moment or two ago, that, you know, this is the women's 53-kilo class, so double body weight. That'll be 106 kilos, and here you've got a young woman taking on 116. And Sisueva, well, profiting a little bit more in this second half of the competition. As you said yesterday in the women's 48, the first half of this discipline, a little bit more forgiving in the clean to get it onto the shoulders, but then you need the precision to chuck it overhead to complete the lift. So under pressure here.
Oh, just dropped her chest as she stood up. The bar slid off her shoulders. You need to maintain a high chest position right from the start as you come off the floor, leading with the chest. Use the chest to get full extension, and when you land underneath the bar, you've got to maintain that position, otherwise you're going to drop it. Just watch here. Drops her chest there, and that cost her. What a shame. Left on 112.
Well, third attempt now, and then we'll be left with the likes of Chen of China and Su Xing, and also, of course, Diaz of the Philippines, who got her first attempt in. But now Ratanafon Pakarata, can she get this timing right on the third attempt? Clock running down.
Oh, works hard. It's the drive to arm's length. And she does much better. Keep your eyes open. You need the eyes open for balance.
You get the buzzer, so she put it down legally there.
Yeah, she's fine. The fact the bar rolled off the platform afterwards is okay. Just interesting watching the scoreboard as well. As she went out for that attempt, Diaz of the Philippines has dropped her next attempt from 120 down to 117 to guarantee a medal on the clean and jerk. See here, stands, works hard all the way through. Tries to get the oxygen in, couple of quick breaths. Big drive, straight to arm's length. Great position underneath the bar.
So personal best in the clean and jerk, personal best in the total, 205 kilos at the age of 18. And now here is Diaz. Intelligent coaching here to secure the medal. She's got a bronze from the first half of the competition.
Well, a great call by the coaches. I'm not sure if she's got the legs to stand with a 120, but bringing it back down to 117, you're allowed to do that so long as the bar hasn't been loaded to the weight that you choose, then it's fine. So she's guaranteed a medal overall and on the clean and jerk.
Well, they know a lot about her capability because in the Asian Championships, in which she took gold earlier this year, she achieved 1 more kilo than this and totaled up 214 kilos. So she's now on 213, and she leads in both the clean and jerk and the total, and she has 1 more attempt to come. But Chen, well, she said she was going to come out for 120. Now, Chen in the Nationals actually clean and jerked 128 kilos, but it's worth reflecting on the fact that Su Shing is planning only to come out at 127. Now, she could change that depending on what happens here with Chen, but... Ooh.
Interesting. She's
That's
brought it down to
Taipei
120.
changing.
Yeah. Shu is coming from 127 down to 120.
Well, of course, that changes the whole complexion. But now let's concentrate on Chen.
Oh, caught that low. Almost an adjustment. That is not the way you want to start the clean and jerk. Luckily, it hasn't taken too much out of her. I think just a missed time. She'll rectify that on her second attempt, I'm sure. And Diaz, just looking at the scoreboard, has gone up to 1-2-1. That is intelligent coaching again from the Philippine coaches. Assuming that Chen can be successful here with a 120, Diaz would need a 121 to try and get a better medal on the clean and jerk.
Well, Chen's got a few moments because Su Shing is going to come out now. And this is absolutely critical. Having dropped down from 127 to 120.
Well, you can either... Two conclusions here is, one, that her warm-up hasn't gone to plan, and secondly, that the 127 was just to put the pressure on Chen and see how she responded, and that she only ever had the intention of 120.
Yeah, that was a bit of bravado.
Oh, goodness me. No. So strong in the clean. What a waste. She needed that lift.
So neither the gold or the silver medalists from the first half of the competition have made their first attempts. And Diaz, at the moment, from the Philippines, sitting in first place.
Well, just short on the drive, pushing way too early. As soon as you start to push with the arms, you can't drive through the bar. That's going to limit how high you can move it.
Now, Chen comes out here because what she wants to do is to obviously secure the total, but in a sense put the pressure on to Su Shing, who's 5 kilos light from that first half of the competition. She does need this.
Oh no. Well,
now
she had to work so hard on the clean. That took a lot out of her. Obviously very good overhead, but just arms went to lock and straight back out again. I tell you who's going to be watching from the warm-up room right now is Sopita Thanasan of Thailand. She can't do anything else. She's finished the competition, but she is sat just behind these girls. And she'll be waiting and watching eagerly in the hope of clinching a medal.
Well, also, you can't rule out, at this moment, Hidilyn Diaz, because she's made 213 as a total, and she's got one more attempt. She's just sitting, waiting at the moment to see what these two do. So, again, the clean is not an issue.
Clean is ridiculously easy.
Now, slight advantage now to Taipei, because Su Shing has got this. So Su Shing gets that 120, goes to 216. So she's 3 kilos ahead of Diaz. And Chen... Wow, what does Chen do now?
Takes 120. Too risky to go any heavier, surely.
So that success puts Thanasan down into overall third, and now Chen... Well, I didn't think we were going to see this, but this is real pressure now. This is to put her back into first place overall. Chen, who weighed in at 52.78. She's heavier than Su Shing, so she can only go into silver in the jerk if she makes it. That's the best of her cleans.
Oh, needs to stand still.
And she's done it.
Oh, goodness me. That is a lifter under pressure. Her teammate yesterday bombed out in the men's division. She's managed to salvage something here. She's got no other lifts remaining. She's going to have to go back to the warm-up room and just sit and wait. Sue, as expected, has gone to 125 to make up the deficit that she was behind on the snatch. Well, it's all to play for. Diaz, I can see, coming out on 121 just to try and get a better medal on the clean and jerk. Really fast, really dynamic in that jerk phase. But it was far from convincing. There wasn't much more there today.
So 221 for Chen. So Diaz lying in overall third, and of course that's taken Tanasan out of the medals, that success of Chen. Now Diaz.
Oh, that's buried her. Does she have the legs? Not today.
No, but she's still got a hat-trick of bronze medals, because she's got third place in the snatch, third place in the clean and jerk, third place overall, and just one attempt to come. Now, Su Xing is lighter than Chen, and she sits on 216, and she needs 5 kilos. So the bar's sitting on 125, or it will be, for this woman, the silver medalist behind Zulfia Shinshanlo. How expensive is that first failure? It's really put the pressure on her now. She lifts this, she takes the gold medal by body weight. She fails, and Chen takes the title for China. And Su Xing fighting, fighting, fighting. That looks good to me. And she's got the gold medal. But boy, it was close. It was tight.
Well, that's a sign of a true champion, being able to pull it out when it matters. Very, very strong in the legs. And Chen, you can just see, is going to need some consoling after that. On reflection, she'll look back and be grateful that she actually made a total and secured the silver medal, but she will also be gutted that she threw away the gold.
So silver in the snatch, gold in the clean and jerk, gold overall for Taipei. And Su Xing, at the age of 24, realizes a dream, and that is to become a senior world champion, the Olympic silver medalist, denied in recent years by the sensational Zulfia Shinshanlo, who probably would have got the better of all of them had she competed here. But you can only beat the women that face you, and she's done it, realized the dream, and Chen is left wondering what on earth happened in the clean and jerk. She finally got that third attempt, but it wasn't enough. There's the clean and jerk, and Su Xing, by 5 big kilos, takes the gold medal in the individual discipline of clean and jerk. Chen, and then Diaz, first success for the Philippines in this particular World Championship bodyweight category by any female Filipino lifter, and 3 bronze medals overall. And Ratanapon Pakarata, the better of the 2 Thai lifters. Overall, bodyweight wins it for Su Xing, 221, the same as Chen, and Hidilin Diaz taking the bronze. And then the 2 young Thai lifters with plenty of promise.